Hey, I'm Rachel Abbott, and this is the Standards Tech and Science Daily podcast. Coming up, critics blindsided as a CGI monkey plays Robbie Williams' biopic. If you're new here, make sure to hit follow. But first, major research from the World Health Organization has revealed there is no link between mobile phone use and an increased risk of brain cancer. The Australian Radiation Protection and Nuclear Safety Agency examined more than 5,000 studies, and the final analysis included 63 studies carried out between 1994 and 2022.
So to test this, they analysed 63 separate studies, which were assessed by 11 different investigators from 10 different countries, and they essentially looked at the kind of quality of each different study. And every study that had low quality data and low quality research was thrown out, and they managed to create a conclusion out of the best possible data that they had available. And that conclusion was that there was no increased risk of any form of cancer from mobile phone use.
That's the Standards Health reporter Dan Keane. Researchers chose participants who make long phone calls or those who've used mobile phones for more than a decade. Like most wireless devices, mobile phones work by transmitting radio waves through a network of fixed antennas.
I think for a very long time, people have been concerned about the effect on the body of radiation. We know that radiation does have a link to cancer, and that increased exposure to radiation can certainly increase your long-term risk of developing cancer. But what they found, and what these experts are saying, is that the frequencies that are emitted by mobile phones just are not strong enough to cause any sort of risk of cancer. So in essence, no matter whether you're on your phone for 5 hours a day or 10 hours a day or not at all, your risk of cancer is the same.
They looked at a variety of cancers, including cancer of the salivary glands, leukemia, and brain tumours. You can check out their findings in the Environment International Journal. Next, in the largest study of its kind, scientists have analysed 70,000 peri- and postmenopausal women to better understand and try to improve menopausal symptoms. As part of the research, they focused on 20 of the most common symptoms.
Although there are so many symptoms and it varies from person to person, the symptoms that are rated worst in terms of like the severity, so these are the symptoms that women really report as being the ones that affect their quality of life, are the weight gain. That is very common in perimenopause. Low libido, which was in our study, nearly a third of participants reported a lower libido. And then fatigue, so feeling lacking energy, let's say.
That's Zoe nutritionist Dr Federica Amati. Zoe is a science and nutrition company who carried out the study in collaboration with colleagues at King's College London, and it was funded by the British Menopause Society. The findings suggest a plant-based diet could reduce menopausal symptoms by 30% in as little as 6 months, as it was found to help reduce inflammation and blood sugar spikes, plus indirectly altered the gut microbiome in participants. Dr Amati told Tech and Science Daily about the impact of some of the more severe menopausal symptoms, such as brain fog.
In 2023, there was a survey, which is a UK workplace healthcare survey done by Simply Health. And what they found was that amongst women of working age between 40 and 60, 23% had considered resigning because of the impact of the menopause. 14% were actually planning to hand in their notice. And there's an average of 10% actually do end up leaving the workplace.
They've developed the Menopause Symptom Tracker, also known as MSTS, which tracks the number and severity of women's symptoms on a scale of 1 to 100. It's hoped this can help women better understand if their daily habits and diet are impacting them.
You can then take to their healthcare provider to say, look, I've done this validated menopause scale, and clearly I'm sitting quite high up on the score system, so I think I might need intervention. Now, intervention can be HRT, so hormone replacement therapy, but not everybody wants to or can do that. There's also lifestyle and dietary factors that can hugely help to reduce the severity and the number of symptoms.
Now, scientists say gifted dogs can remember the names of their toys for at least 2 years. Previous research has shown that pooches, known as gifted word learners, have a unique ability to learn the names of hundreds of different objects. For For this study, researchers from Eötvös Loránd University in Budapest analysed the behaviour of 5 border collies named Whiskey, Gaia, Max, Squall and Rico. They learned to remember the names of multiple toys and were tested again 2 years on. 4 out of 5 dogs remembered the names of between 60 to 75% of the toys after 2 years. As a pack, they averaged 44%, which experts say is significantly higher than they predicted. Let's go to the ads. Coming up in part 2, why a CGI monkey is the star of the Robbie Williams biopic. We'll see you back here in just a minute. Welcome back. Amazon's new AI-powered shopping assistant called Rufus has launched in the UK. The chatbot will help you search with much broader questions, such as, what do I need for making smoothies? Rufus was launched in the US earlier this year and is the latest example of businesses using generative AI to enhance customer experiences. Now, in what sounds like a fairy tale, a quaint village in South Cornwall is up for sale. But here's the catch, it's smaller than you might think. Lee and Julia Gregory are selling Polperro Model Village, for the whopping sum of £725,000. Constructed in the late 1940s, the miniature village is a tiny detailed replica of the popular Cornish tourist spot, built to 1/24th of its real size. The sale also includes the Land of Legends attraction, a light, sound and animation show which explores Cornish pirates and smugglers. And finally, film critics were left surprised and probably pretty confused after discovering Robbie Williams is played by a CGI monkey in the new biopic Better Man, following the movie's premiere. The movie's director, Michael Gracie, of The Greatest Showman, previously teased the film would be out of the ordinary, and let's just say, he wasn't kidding. Michael even employed friends of this podcast, Weta effects artists, who are known for their work on the Planet of the Apes franchise. It's said the Take That star was depicted as a monkey because the singer believes that when he walks on stage, he's essentially a performing monkey. Well, there you go then. You're up to date. Come back for the Standard podcast at 4 p.m. and visit standard.co.uk for all the latest news. We'll be back tomorrow, Thursday at 1 p.m. See you then.